Yeah, we see all of this money getting shoveled to Ukraine and gosh, a whole host of other places. That's just an easy example. While our southern border is open, and while our veterans are not taken care of, we see the southern border open. We see these illegals. I mean, I see it every day. Here's their package with their big manila envelope, and they've got their pay, and they're getting on a plane to go to New York or go to Los Angeles or go wherever, getting taken care of, put up in hotels at no cost, getting fed every day. Well, veterans are rotting away in the streets of America too often. What's going on here? Why does this happen every year? I mean, and why do we only talk about it around Veterans Day? At least we're talking about it today, Jim. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah. No, it's a national travesty, Steve. And it's really sad that many veterans would be better off flying into Mexico, throwing away their identity forms, their passports, sneaking across the border and asking for asylum. They'd get a couple grand a month. They'd get a cell phone. And like you said, they'd be put up in a nice hotel instead of sleeping on the streets. What we have is we have had continuous war for 22 years. We have between 2 and 3 million people who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, most of them on multiple tours. And no one teaches them how to repopulate back into society after they leave the military. When I left the military, I took a physical, signed a piece of paper saying I wouldn't sue the government, got a handshake, and that was pretty much it. I was fortunate, though. I had a loving, caring wife to be there for me. I had a job to go to. Things were good. Most veterans don't have that, and it really, really hurts them. More than 24 veterans kill themselves every single day. That doesn't sound like much until you understand that that is an infantry division that kills itself every single year. 20% of veterans are either addicted to drugs or alcohol. And then the homelessness in the veteran rate is almost twice that of the civilian population. So veterans suffer. And I think a lot of it has to do with that there's never any plan to reintegrate them into society when they leave the military.
Right. So there's no plan. We have a plan to disperse illegals by the millions all over this country, but no plan for the veterans, whose numbers, by the way, are smaller than the number of illegals flooding into this country. How is it that under the Trump administration, there was a real move afoot to take better care of veterans, and yet today it seems to have evaporated again? Why the move away from taking care of the people that have put their lives on the line to protect you and I?
I think it's a multifold reason. One, veterans traditionally vote Republican, so Democrats don't care about veterans. Two, there are so many places that will try to help veterans, places like Tunnel to Towers that will buy a wounded veteran a home. People then start to say, well, they'll be taken care of by somebody else. The last part is the work that Trump did was really groundbreaking because the Veterans Choice Law that made it easier for veterans to go around the VA circumvented the swamp. And the swamp does not like when it can't have what it wants, so the swamp fights back. And that's what we saw happen. So you have the trifecta of Democrats don't care because veterans vote Republican. You have the swamp that just wants to take care of itself. And then you have this notion that there are so many private organizations that are taking care of veterans that the government really doesn't think about it, and it's not a top 5 issue in any poll that's ever taken.